Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to this beautiful, happy Friday. Every day is a wonderful day to me, but people like it when you talk about Fridays for some reason. But once you get out of debt, you'll understand that Friday is no different than Monday. Wednesday is no different than Saturday. They're all the same. They just seem special when you're in debt. They just because you have to work. When you're in debt, you have to work. So those days seem special. What's up, Nick? Hello, Stan. So welcome to Friday. I'm gonna say it different. I'm not gonna say happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. No, just Friday. Hey, happy Friday. How about that? No, I just said I wasn't gonna say that, right? So because every day is a happy day to me, honestly. What's up, Mike? What's going on? I changed my mind, Mike. No, at first, Mike, I thought you were talking about the members only when you asked for a video when you were talking about a video, because I definitely am going to give you guys one tomorrow, a live for the members only. Yeah, tomorrow. So you guys seen the things I've been posting, right? Yeah. So we're gonna get into that. All right, you guys are gonna love that one because trust me, on your journey, you're gonna run into it, especially if you're in a relationship. So you're gonna run into it. So something to give you guys a heads up. It's a beautiful day to be debt free. Sure is, man. Every day. See, that's what people don't really understand. We're gonna get started in about 2 minutes. All right, 2 more minutes. People don't really understand. Every day is a beautiful day when you're debt free. It's just crazy, you know. Just my whole life. This is why I'm so dedicated to what I do. I want you guys to understand it's more than about the money, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not making a ton of money, but I'm going for the long run. Okay. The long run is slow. What that means, what's the long run? The long run is Dave Ramsey. See what I'm saying? I'm gonna be that dude, Dave Ramsey, if not bigger. That's the long run. That kind of Dave Ramsey status, that doesn't happen overnight. That takes some years to do. It's not gonna, it might not happen in 5 and it might not happen in 10, but it's gonna happen. How do I know it's gonna happen? I already know today. People tell me almost on a daily basis how I've changed their lives. All right. That's how you'll know when you find your passion. When you change another person outside of you, you change their life forever. That's that's something that person that you what I do for people, what I do for them, what I'm going to do for them, whatever, right? They're gonna remember this for the rest of their lives. They're not gonna one day say to themselves, who's LJ? Who's SMD? They will never forget that. That's the long run. What's up, Mama Max? It's James Sandman. What's going on? Thanks. Shout out to Nick for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. So let me introduce myself. For those of you that do not know me, my name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a place where everybody believes in financing everything that goes down in value, believing that they own something when they don't, financing a 30-year mortgage and believing you're a homeowner, financing a car for 84 months and believe you got it on sale, financing phones every single year. It's just crazy. And you don't really know, they never stop and say, hey, wait a minute, how come I can't pay cash for this phone? Slaves never stop that. This is where slaves live. Okay. Now, when you hear me use the word slave, I want you guys to remember this statement that everybody knows. The borrower is slave to the lender. So I don't want you to mix up the slaves that you think about on the movies or a particular color of people, or, I don't want, when you hear slave, I don't want you to, this is what I want you to remember. I want you to remember this statement that's in the Bible. The borrower is slave to the lender. So if you have a mortgage, the bank is the lender and you are the slave. If you're making car payments, the bank is the lender and you are the slave. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It doesn't matter what you think or whatever. You know the statement is true. You're the slave. Okay. So whenever you hear me say slave, and you have a car payment, I'm talking to you. If you got student loans that are older than your children, I'm definitely talking to you. All right. So how do I help people out of the debt matrix? I expose the glitches in the debt matrix by mathematically showing you that you're not a homeowner, mathematically showing you that you don't even have money in your pocket. Even the cash you can see and smell, and you can taste it if you want to, that you see it, right? You're counting it, but it doesn't exist. I can show you mathematically that it doesn't exist. This is how you're going to come out of the debt matrix. And I promise you, this is all you have to do. Now all you got to do is believe your own math. Once you believe your own math, you'll be free. That's step number one to be free of the debt matrix. That's step number one. Stop calling yourself a homeowner when you know it's not mathematically true. You'll stop doing that. That instantly stops, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't own that. Damn. The reason why I'm making payments on the car is because I couldn't afford the car. That's why I'm making payments. The math will tell you that what you're doing. Wait a minute, if I finance that, that means I'm paying damn near double the cost of that car. Yes. Then you'll be free. That's the first step. That's step one. Okay. Now, this recently popped up called dating minus debt, and I really feel this one with a passion because I really think it's very well. I know it's very important, especially with all these channels that have these dating type of talk to it. You know, what's the right person? Who's the what race should you date? And, you date a person with this, and they're high value if they make this and all that. All of that is bullshit. The majority of what you see out there that are considered high value people, those are just slaves dating other slaves. Okay, they're nothing more. It doesn't matter the title of their job. You notice how, and I'm gonna come into the slave world for a second so you guys can understand. In the slave world, job titles are important. That's why you guys always ask what another person does. Hey, what do you do? What or she does? She's a doctor, she's a lawyer. When none of that shit matters, none of it matters. You could see a person dressed nice in a nice car or whatever, and they drive up, and then you say, "Hey, how old are you? 35? You still paying on your student loans?" Yes. You got to think to yourself at that moment. This is all you got to do. At that moment, you ask that person, "What year did you graduate?" Then you take the current year minus the year of their graduation, will tell you how long they've carried student loans, even though they went to college for 4 years. Go to college for 4 years and keep your student loans for 10. That's a red flag. That doesn't make sense. So now what you're seeing is a slave who's a lawyer, a slave who's a doctor. Then you won't care about what kind of car they drive if they're making car payments. You'll say, oh, damn, the bank owns that car. Yes. That's not their car. That's not their house. That's not even the phone in their hand. But if they're dressed nice, for some reason you believe they're high value. No, those are high value slaves. Whether they now remember this, whether they know this or not is 100% irrelevant to mathematics. Irrelevant. The information that this channel will teach you when you date is going to save you millions of dollars. Countless misses of heartbreak, all that will be avoided. The majority, I'm not going to say all of it. I'm going to say about 90+% of it will all be avoided. You know why? Because you will never date a slave, no matter what costume they have on. Those are costumes that slaves wear. Those are lawyer costumes. Those are doctor costumes. Those are computer engineer costumes. Those are costumes. They don't know. This is what you guys need to understand something. Those people wearing those costumes, they don't know they're wearing those costumes, okay? They don't even know they are wearing the costumes. They're walking around with debt. It's no different. All of them are below zero. Every one of them. If they're in the negative, whatever they're doing, their whole financial life is not mathematically true. You know why? Because zero starts with you. Zero starts with you. Slaves don't know that. Slaves don't, you guys don't know that. You guys don't know zero starts with you. There is no fast way out of debt. All those people that are helping you fix your credit and you think a credit score is this and that, and you think credit score means everything. It means absolutely nothing. It only means something to slaves. A credit score is a bank. They reward you for staying in debt. That's a high debt score. That's a I love debt score. There's nothing that it doesn't mean anything. You, slaves believe if you got a good credit score, you must be good with money. That has nothing to do with absolutely nothing. So when you guys are out here dating and you, oh man, how's their credit? You're looking right. You're looking at the wrong thing. You need to see their whole entire credit report. See, this is what you guys don't understand. The slaves don't understand. When you go fill out a credit application, right? You in your mind, you only think the bank is looking at your credit score. That's what you believe. All right. Credit scores are indicators to see if you paid the back. This is the only reason for a credit score. Okay. If you paid back the bank's money on time, you get a high credit score. If you didn't, you get a low credit score. That's it. That's all it means. It means if you've been borrowing the money and paying the bank's money back, they say thank you for paying all the interest you paid. Here. I'm gonna increase your credit score. Here you go. And then the slaves are happy. What you guys don't know, they're looking at your entire credit report. You're in debt. You don't know you're in debt. They're just looking to see how much more in debt you can go before you go bust. After the banks, it's called to you, it's called debt to income ratio, DTI, but you don't know what that means. You don't know what that really means. That's a formula determined to see how much debt you're in before you go bust. If you listen, if you have no debt, there is no ratio. You see what I'm saying? So if you get out here and people are impressing you with their DTI and their high credit score, they're not really doing anything. You guys are going to save yourself so much heartbreak because you know what? They always say when you're in the debt matrix, they always say, "Hey, money's the number one reason for divorce." No, it's not. It's debt. It's not money. It's debt. Slaves don't have any money, so it has to be debt. After you go down to that DTI and you go bust with the bank, guess what? They sick you on the vultures that are out there tearing you guys up, picking your bones. Soon as the big banks are done with you, then you go to the subprime lenders. Ooh, man. You guys have no idea what subprime lenders do to you slaves. You have no idea what they do to you. They subprime lenders, man. It's like you're a slave on the ground with a whole bunch of chains on you. And they're just kicking you, and your chains are just rattling everywhere. You're not gonna date a slave. You're not gonna date anybody like that. So if you go out on a date and you come across a so-called person with a good career, whatever that shit is, right? Whatever you believe it's oh, he went to this college and they did this and now they're that, and it don't mean nothing when you're in debt. You're just a high-paid slave. They don't know that. So when you go and you talk to them, these are the things. You come to this channel, I'm gonna give you the things that you can say to a slave for them not to know why you're asking these questions. I promise you, they won't know why you know why? Because they will be impressed by what some will be impressed, some will tell you about their feelings, and but either way, it tells you what you need to know. If they're fine, if their phone's financed, you say, hey, how much was that phone? Right? If they don't know the price, that means they financed it because if you say like the new Apple phone is $1,400, if you drop $1,400 on an Apple iPhone brand new, and if somebody asks you how much that phone costs, you're going to tell them $1,400. You're not going to say, "Well, I don't really know." No, you're not, because you know you dropped 1,400, right? But when you finance it, you say things like that. You say, "I don't really know." They don't even have to tell you payments. They don't have to tell you. They just told you that they're financing a phone. Now, if they're such a check this out. If they're such at a high career, a professional career, you got to ask yourself, why are they financing a phone? That's a red flag. Okay. Now let me put this up here. because I'm definitely going to keep this going regardless of participation, man. This is this topic is like, I could feel that it's fire inside of me, man. I know dating minus debt fits right with the program, savings minus debt. But you come over here, it's going to change the game for you. Nobody's going to be when this dating world is going to be totally different for you. Totally different. You're going to look at everything different. You're going to see through all the people's houses and cars and gold and jewelry and all this traveling, going on vacation. You're seeing all the pictures on their Instagram, like they're having so much fun and spending so much money. You're going to be able to see through all of it. They won't know that you can see through it. Slaves, like, for example, slaves don't know that I can see them. They don't know that like, let me give you an example, slave, so you can understand something. Okay, so this is how I see you and you don't see me. If I walked up to you and asked you, are you a homeowner? And you said yes, knowing that you have a mortgage, I just saw you. Because what you just said is not mathematically true. So why are you calling yourself something that you're not? You don't know you're doing it. You don't know you're doing that. That's how I see you. Things when you say things that put it this way, when you say things that are not mathematically true when it comes to money and you say them out loud, that means you don't know what you're saying, because if you did, you wouldn't say it. You wouldn't say you got a car on sale knowing that you financed it for 84 months. Nobody in the world gets a finance car on sale. Why are you saying it out loud? Those things, that's how I can see you. Okay? Now, this same thing, once you understand how this works, this is what you will apply throughout your dating life. You won't be able to help it. It never turns off. Once you know what SMD teaches you, you cannot turn it off. It doesn't, you can't just say, hey, F what SMD said. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the old way. There is no going back. Okay. You'll have this gift. So when you go out on a date and you'll hear somebody that looks the part, but they're full of shit because the way they talk, they don't know they're saying it. You're gonna save yourself a lot of heartache, because you will not, absolutely will not date a slave, especially an unconscious slave. What's up, Ill Wills? What's going on? Jaws 2003, nicer. Everything. You won't care. You won't care what people say. You won't care what they think, because you know why? You will know that they are slaves. My man Yellow J, he's getting out of his house selling. He tells people coming up to him, "Hey, why are you doing that? Why are you selling the house?" And then Yellow J knows, hey, do those person that are telling me why am I selling? Do they have mortgages? Yes, that's why they're saying it, because they believe they own houses that they don't. So they're wondering why you're getting rid of yours. No, they don't know that Yellow J knows that's not his house. Only people with mortgages suggest that you get one. So if you go around, this throw away your money on rent and all this other stuff like that, right? I mean, I'm telling you, this applies to dating, because a lot of couples be saying, "Hey, why are we throwing our money away on rent?" This is what I want you to, when you got to listen to the person that's saying that. When you hear a person tell you that you're throwing away money on rent, this is the first question I want you to ask them. Do you have a mortgage? If they say yes, that's why they're suggesting that you get one, because they have one too. You think a person that doesn't have a mortgage on a house is going to suggest that you get one? No, they're not. With a house, you have just eliminated the largest expense in your life for the rest of your life. I'm gonna say that one more time. With a paid off house, you have just eliminated the largest monthly expense that you will have in your life. You will have eliminated it for the rest of your life. You will never have rent or mortgage again forever. But they say, "Hey, yeah, you go ahead and get you a mortgage. Start building." They always this is all they always say, right? Oh, start building generational wealth. Shut up. Can you imagine how many people out there are telling other people how to build generational wealth with mortgages? Calling their like here's another one. Okay, when you go out on a date, so you won't be impressed by somebody's house. You say that they are homeowner, right? This is what I want you to say. Hey, is your house an asset? Trust me, they won't know why you're saying it. If they say yes, they're a slave. A house is not an asset, especially if you have a mortgage. No, it's not. If you have a mortgage, a house is not no, excuse me. Let me make sure I say that right. A house is not an asset when you have a mortgage. The only asset who is for the bank, not you. It can't be an asset for both you and the bank. That's mathematically impossible. But slaves will go, oh my name is on the deed, but the bank got a lien. Oh my God, you have no idea what you're saying. They obviously don't because they say it out loud. I had this debate on my Facebook. Somebody finally dared to debate me and saying out loud, oh yeah, I got a mortgage, but that is an asset because I take the equity and then I do this and that. So you take two mortgages out on one house and then you think you're investing in something else. Oh my God, such the slave talk. Once you're out of debt, you won't date slaves. You will never take serious that somebody that believes it takes 30 years to pay off one house, you won't date that person. Hell, even if you got a 15-year mortgage, you believe it takes 15 years to pay off one house? That's a problem. 15, think about it. 50, they make this is what it's so funny. They always make 15 sounds better than 30. It's not this the same thing to me. 15 years. Can you imagine this? 15 years of mortgage payments every single month for 15 years? Hell no. If I think it take 15 years to pay, that's a problem with me. If you listening to this information and you're in a relationship, let's say boyfriend or girlfriend, but marriage is even worse. Uh, if you listen to what I'm saying and you wake up, that's going to be a big, big problem for you. I promise you. I'm sorry. It's going to be a very big problem. If one of you wake up and the other one doesn't, I got some bad news for you. That's going to be the end of that relationship. You're gonna do. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna do everything it takes for that person to try to show that person. Hey, look what we could have. We could have more freedom if we did this. We can spend more time with each other. We won't have to work as hard and this and that. They're not gonna hear you. Some will never hear that ever. That relationship is gonna be done. You will not be able to live with a slave. You will not. It will not work. Because a slave will still have the same mentality. So if you get out of debt and they're going to know you got out of debt, and you know what they're going to say to you? Now you have more money to spend on them and pay for their bills. That's what they're going to do. You don't have any bills. You can pay for my debt. That's exactly what they're going to do. And they're going to get deeper in debt. Then they're going to start doing it behind your back because they know you don't like it. Then they're going to open up all that. You get with somebody with the same money mindset, they're not going to open up credit cards behind your back and get in debt behind your back. They're not because they don't want to be in debt, period. So they're not going to get in debt behind your back because the only person they're hurting is themselves. If you're with somebody that does that, open up credit cards behind your back, I hope you understand that they have a problem. And if you tie yourself to that, you're just bringing yourself down. You won't. This is why I tell you, you take this information on this channel, you will never ever date a slave. You won't care how they feel about it. Exactly, Nick. Slave splaining, man. Yellow J says, I own. What's ironic is when I let my last car go back, my credit score went up. Then I bought another car. That w- then I bought another car. Oh, another car cash. That was 1 year older than one I got. Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha. Yellow J says, I own a 2014 Nissan Quest van, making payments on it on a 2018 Maxima for my wife, and payments on a damn and a Harley Davidson. Woo, that's crazy. You still don't now though, right, Yellow J? Or is that done or what? I think you're talking past tense, right? Selling them all. Oh, okay. Selling them all. 2014 will cover the upside down. Okay, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. All loans will be gone. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Yellow J's on a mission. Oh yeah, he's full force ahead. I could just hear it in his voice every time we talk. Oh, this is that. I'm like, damn. Because you know what it is? When you can see that finish line, man, you want to get there so fast because you could see it. You could see it right there. You could see it right there. You want to get to it faster and faster, and you can't make it go any faster. That's the problem. Only a slave, my friend. Only a slave. Sure is. Relationships gone bye-bye for sure. That's done. Done. Mama Max says, Dave Ramsey says that if you're married, your debt is her debt, vice versa. I know what Dave says. That's true. If you're married, it's vice versa. All I'm saying is that if one person wakes up legally, because what he's talking is legally, yes, legally. But what I'm saying is this: if one person wakes up and the other one doesn't, they're going to stop the hemorrhaging. They're going to start going to lawyer if they can't. They're going to take a loss, but they're going to go to the lawyer and say, hey, I need to figure out how to stop. Do we got to get a legal separation? I need to make sure that our finances being connected must stop. And you can go to the lawyer and get that done. You're going to stop it, and then whatever was made before that point, then you got to split it and go to the lawyers, but you will stop the hemorrhaging, I promise you. Nick says, if you wake up, you better make sure your partner does. Yeah, you got to. I mean, that sounds like, Nick says you better make sure, but hey, that's another person. That's another human being. The only person you can control is yourself. SOBC, what's up? Then the next member's, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. Okay. I promise you, it's going to be a good one. It's about me personally. So tomorrow, probably maybe the 6 o'clock time, but I will notify you guys if the time changes. I will notify you guys about the members only video. I promise. Elmar says, LJ, you remind me how my uncle did my grandmother, opening credit cards behind her back. See what I'm saying? That happens. That's nothing new. That happens all the time. That's happening to married couples as we speak. You're with somebody secretly putting you in debt behind your back, and you don't even know it. Couples, listen. Couples don't know. This is all they got to do. Hey, babe, yeah, let me see your personal credit report. That's all you got to do. If you're with somebody, and check this out. If you are with somebody right now and you've never seen their entire personal credit report, you need to stop yourself and say, hey, baby, I need to see. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Their personal credit report will answer all your financial questions about them. But if they say no, listen, if they say no and get really, really mad about it, and this is a person you are married to, That's a big problem. That's a huge red flag. Ginormous. That's a ginormous red flag. If you cannot ask to see the personal credit report of the person you're in love with, you're married to, boyfriend, girlfriend, so in love, you're about to get married. If you haven't asked that question, I strongly suggest you do immediately. Immediately. Hey, you know what, baby? Before we get serious, how about we exchange credit reports? I guarantee you this. No one in their whole entire dating life will have ever asked them that question. It's going to catch them off guard. I promise you this. Nobody, it doesn't even matter your age. I guarantee you, no one has ever asked them that question. They're going to think they're going to confuse you with asking to see their credit score. You're going to have to correct them. This is how slaves think. You're going to say no. I'm not talking, because they're going to say, "Oh, my credit score is this. My credit is bad. This and that." It doesn't matter. You're going to say, "No, I'm not really talking about the credit score. I want to see your entire credit report. I'll show you mine if you show me yours." Now, the ones that hand it over no problem, I say you're probably good to go. But if you come across one that absolutely refuses to do that to you and start getting in an argument with you, that's a red flag. You need to pay attention to that. You got to ask yourself, I'm willing to show them mine. How come they're not willing to show me theirs? Because that's a problem. That's a problem. What I'm telling you guys, this information right now that I'm telling you, the majority of the population don't even know what I'm telling you, nor if they came on this channel, would they understand anything I'm saying. I keep telling you guys this. Slaves cannot hear me. They don't know their personal credit report tells me everything I need to know financially about them, everything they're in, if they have a successful business or not. I don't look at their successful business. Check this out. When somebody looks successful on Facebook and you see them going on vacations and they're showing in the car they're driving, they're showing with their kids, or they're going to private school and all this other stupid nonsense. They're showing, why are you putting so much on social media? Why? Who knows? I don't know. But the first thing I'm going to ask, let me see your personal credit report, and then I'll believe everything you're saying, what you're showing, everything you're showing. Generational wealth. I'm like, who's saying that? Let me see your personal credit report. It will tell me if you know anything about generational wealth. Your personal credit report will show me that. I've seen a lot of women say, "That's my business and it doesn't matter if I love you." Exactly. Red flag. That's a red flag. You leave immediately, because you always got to relate that to yourself. Because when you're debt free, there's nothing to see on your credit report. It's blank. It has a whole bunch of zeros. That's it. It's one page with a whole bunch of zeros. That's it. That's why you don't care about showing your credit report to your partner, because nothing's on it. But when you have a problem, that means there is a problem. Why don't you want to show it? Because it's not blank. It's probably several pages. A lot of these people go out on dates and think the sex is good. You go out and, oh man, we connect, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know their credit report is probably 10, 15 pages long. You don't even know. If it's more than one page, that's a problem. Slaves don't know that. I didn't even know that. My credit report, even when I was in debt, my credit report was always one page, maybe two and a one and a half, right? It was never pages and pages and pages. There are people with pages and pages and pages. Mama Max says, that is why I do not need to be married anymore, you cannot trust that his spouse will be on the same financial mind frame as yourself. Well, we'll say same thing, Mama Max. That's what I'm saying. You will know where this person is when you date them. If they're in debt, you won't even come close to marriage. You might not even have sex with them. You'll be like, oh man, this is a total waste of time. This is not going anywhere. And if you do something physical with them, you're going to know that it's just physical. It's nothing more than physical. That's it. You're going to make sure it's clear. Hey, this is not going past this. because everybody's different. Everybody got needs, whatever, right? But when you're debt free, the game is different. I always tell when, like, fellas, let me tell you something, fellas. Listen, if you want to date and mess with multiple women, be honest with all of them. When you're out of debt, you will make sure that's clear. Especially if you're a young man, you'll make sure that's clear. If you're out of debt and they're in debt, you're going to make sure you're telling them this is physical. And I'm not only going to see you, but I'm going to see other women. So there's no lying. You don't have to sneak behind nobody's back. You don't have to cover up your telephone. You don't have to go into another room and whisper. You don't have to worry about text messages on your phone. You know why? Because you're going to make sure that's crystal clear in the very beginning. And never wavering. You're never gonna, hey, by the way, I know we just had sex, but that still doesn't change anything. It's still the same. I'm seeing you and other people. You're gonna say it just like that. And then each woman you tell that to, you let her make the decision of staying with you or not. That's okay. That's cool. They make hey, you seeing other people? Yeah, you won't worry about what they're doing. You won't see if they're seeing other people because you'll know that from the beginning. You guys might be kicking it strong, and then one day she said, "Hey, I found somebody serious, and he doesn't want me to see." Okay, hey, congratulations. Take care of yourself. Because slaves date slaves. She asked, "Baby, you got a condom?" You say yes, and let me see yours, boo. Credit report. Exactly. Fellas, you'll never forget the condom ever. Especially if you're seeing a woman just for, physical, whatever, right? You'll never forget a condom. You'll never be too drunk or too high for that it slipped up. That will never happen because you'll never get a slave pregnant because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen when that kid comes. Guess what? Their debt problems are going to get worse, and guess who they're going to blame? You. And then the state where you live in is going to back them up. I want you guys to understand something. The child support, that's a business, man. That's a business. Why do you think they get a certain percentage off of people fucking up? Have kids and blame they're taking all my money and this and that. No, you did it to yourself. Now they decided if people don't care about dating slaves and getting people pregnant randomly, that okay, hey man, let's turn this into a business. We're going to collect money. Dating minus debt. Brittany C says, "What's up, Brittany? How you doing? If you're dating someone that is a slave, would you try to educate them on paying their debts, or is it a lot?" You know what? That's a good question, Brittany. That is a really good question. Okay. I'm gonna use my last relationship before the current one I'm in, and me and this woman, we really had a good connection, but she was in debt, and I was seeing her as I was coming out of debt. Okay, and I noticed that I was trying to slowly, hey babe, you should pay off your car. You should get off that cell phone plan and get to this other plan. It's the same thing. But she just wouldn't let it go. She went out and financed another car because she thought she deserved another one. And then she went and financed her daughter a car. I was like, yeah, this can't go anywhere. But even at that time, I was still coming out. I didn't know why that bothered me. Now I know why that bothered me because as she was going deeper in debt and I was coming out of debt, I was like, that's just like the exact counterintuitive what I'm doing. We ended up breaking up, but now I think about it, it was a large portion of it that she had two car payments. And I was like, why are you paying for your daughter's car? Oh, she this and that. I was like, yeah, this won't work. But if they take the education, Brittany, I mean, great. Okay, if they jump on board, I would stay. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying immediately leave them because they have debt. But if you show them and say, hey, check this out. This is what I'm doing. I'm about to be free. And they say, yeah, I'm with that. Okay, cool. Stay with them, work with them, teaching some things, and you can help them come along. But if they just absolutely refuse, because the debt matrix is strong, you guys, it is strong. And the reason, listen, the reason why the debt matrix is so strong, the economy would not exist without slaves. It must be that way. None of this would work. None of the economy, the world economy wouldn't work, let alone the United States economy. It wouldn't work if slaves didn't exist. There must be slaves. That's the straight true child support. It's big business. And I always tell you guys that are in the let me tell you guys that are in the child support, making payments and all that shit, right? Over and pissed off because you got to give up this a large amount of money. Let me tell you something, okay? That I wish somebody would have told me. Get out of debt and child support payments won't be shit. They won't be nothing. The reason why child support payments seem so high is because you're in debt. This is how I want you to look at it if you're listening to me say this. Imagine that you had no rent, you had no credit card bills, no car payments, no furniture card, no payment, whatever. Take all your payments away, every single one of them. Yes, including your rent and mortgage. Now, and you still working the same job. How does what does child support look like now? What does that look? Does it look like anything? Does it look like anything? How much with no other payments, not even rent or mortgage? How does child support look now? Like nothing, right? Because that's what it is. It's nothing. It only seems like a lot because you're in debt. Get out of debt and you could pay child support in advance for a year just so you won't have to be bothered by the baby's mama. Hey, here's a year's worth of child support right here. Don't call me. You think if you paid a year's worth of child support up front, you think she gonna hold your kid back anymore? She ain't got nothing to say. It's strong, Nick. It's very strong. But hey, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I love the Matrix. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful design. All you slaves are mixed up in there dating each other, thinking something is you if you have this, so you're wearing these clothes or these shoes, you think that there's somehow no, you guys are still in the Matrix. You guys have no idea that you're there. Charles says, my aunt pays for my cousin's car. My cousin got all that education, and now she look like she's strung out on something, saying she wants to be a model. I say nothing about the debt my aunt is in. Hmm. People going into debt for other people. That's crazy, man. There is no way I would finance a car for my children. I would never go into debt for another person. I wouldn't do it. I mean, first of all, I teach them not to ever finance a car, but you know, and they would never they would never come to me and ask such a question either. So I guess I'm a bad example of that. Thank God I only have to pay $11 a month. It sucks though because I have majority custody of my son, but it's the cost of doing business. Yeah, you gotta go through it, even though you're in it. With you can't just say, "Hey, put the kids back." You're in it. But what I'm saying is this: you can ease the burden once you get out of debt. Once you get out of debt, you'll always have money for lawyers. You'll always have money for lawyers. You'll have a lawyer on standby because nothing's worse than getting some surprise paperwork. Like, oh shit, I gotta. Then they say, hey, you got to be in court next week, and now you got to scramble and find a lawyer and all this. You don't know if it's a good lawyer, or bad lawyer. You say, hey man, do you handle these cases? They say, yeah, this is how much it's gonna be, and then you just retain them without checking anything because you're panicking, right? But if this, and I'm saying this to you, if I was debt free and going through what I was going through with my baby's mama, I would have had money to have a lawyer on retainer that already knew my case. Every time I call him, he already has the paperwork. He already knows what type of person I'm dealing with. That can skip so many hurdles. We just get straight to it. But I never had money like that. I always had to get a lawyer after I got the paperwork. But now, if you got surprise court paperwork out of nowhere, like that, like they love to do, it won't be a big deal. You just pass it to your lawyer and say, "Hey, man, this just came in. What do I do?" Brittany says the debt matrix is getting stronger with the PS5 coming out. Everyone lining up to go in debt. Ain't that's just absolutely nuts? Check this out. Lining up to finance a PS5. Imagine how many people are going to finance a PS5. And when I say finance, and you guys that are out of the debt matrix, you know what I mean. If they're under zero, everybody's financing it, regardless of how they pay for it. They're all financing it. Slaves don't even know that. They have no idea. If they're in the negative, everything they're using to buy this PS5 is financed because they have no money. And you youngsters, let me tell you something. You young adults, when your man gets a PS5, I need you to say this. How did you buy that? Ask your man how did he get that PS5. If he charged it, if he pawned some stuff, that's not the person for you. They're financing a game system. They can't even afford to buy a game system cash. So not only did they not have the money to buy the game system, they financed a game system. Something you don't even need. You don't even need that. And they financed it. That's a red flag. I hope you're listening, ladies. I hope you're listening. If your man financed the game system, you are in trouble. You better not get pregnant. Yeah, that's a dude you better not get pregnant by. I promise you. You better not do it. You better be careful. You're going to be in some big trouble. Big trouble. You're going to be in courtrooms every year. Counts on what state you live in. You're going to be in courtrooms every year talking about, hey, he ain't paying nothing. He ain't paying child support. Blah, blah, blah. The same old bullshit. You're about to wrap yourself up in it. I'm telling you now, that's where you're going to be if he's financing a game system. I promise you. Only when you're in debt, man. Only child support sucks when you're in debt. When you're out of debt, child support ain't nothing. It's nothing. Decent Wood says my ex was $100,000 in student debt, but only making $40,000 a year. And you know so crazy about that though? Even a person making $40,000 a year, they can get out of debt, but they got to sacrifice. They got to go, hey, mom, dad, yeah, can I move back in? Got to get rid of that car. You got to let it go back to the bank. I don't know. Let it get repoed. Don't matter. Stay at home. You got to ignore everybody around you thinking you're broke and poor. Oh my God, he had this, but now he's living with his mom and dad and he drives this old car. You got to ignore all the slaves. Because the only thing they're saying is, how could you not staying a slave like us? That's what they're really saying. They don't know they're saying that. Kevin Jones says PlayStation 5. Yep. Jaw says LJ added up the cost and I will only have to pay $1,700 total until my son gets 18. I know men that will pay that in a few months. Oh yeah, I paid $1,100 a month. So you damn right. Hey, Jaws, I would keep that to myself because a lot of men will fight you over that. Yellow J says one thing to be advised: if you sell your house and rent, be prepared that they are requiring your monthly income to be 3 times monthly income to qualify for your lease. Wow, property owners won't even show it. Wow. Let me see. If you sell, if you sell your house and rent, be prepared that they are requiring your monthly income. Oh, your monthly income to be 3 times the monthly income to qualify. Whoa. Damn. Hmm. Damn, that's crazy. Nick says the bank's gonna be playing you like a they sure are. They playing it, man. Hey, You guys saw me post that. I said the only job I would even consider would be to work with the central bank. That's the only job I would consider because that would pay me back for generations. Oh, LJ got a job. Where you got a job at? The central bank. Oh, yeah. You ever had a job there? Nope. Never will either. Especially if you're in debt. LJ says offer to pay 6-month lease up front, cuts through all those requirements. Nice. I'm assuming that's what you did, Yellow J. Cut through all that. They were like, oh, what? Oh, in in this economy? Oh, hell yeah, we're taking that. Believe that. Mari says facts. 3 times the rent payment to qualify. LJ says, or Jaw says, LJ, very true about the child support. The biggest thing I get is people asking me is, how do I get the majority custody and pay as much as you? Ironically, they clown me for fighting like I was. I know you always, yeah, that's a whole different story. I want people to understand that dating minus debt is going to change. What it will do is going to bring you out of all the slave splaining in debt, right? You'll hear people in debt say, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it means go deeper in debt till you make it. I guess that's what it really means. Fake it means spend money that you don't have and keep doing it until you make it. Make what? I don't know what they mean by the make it part. That's different. I'm not sure what that means, but that's what it really means. But slaves don't really know because they say it out loud. Hey man, fake it till you make it. I'm like, damn, you don't even know you're saying that, do you? Nope, sure don't. You just told the whole world you're broke as I don't know what, and you keep getting broker. Only a slave would finance Uggs. Wow. Believe that. Yellow J says should sign my lease today for a 6-month lease in Hawaii. Damn, congratulations, Yellow J, man. I'm serious, man. Man, that's gotta, when you get there and you just know you did it, man, that's just gonna be an amazing feeling. Trust me. Financing shoes. Now, if you go to other dating channels looking for the answer, I promise you the answer is here. I will show you, SMD will show you that the answer is within you. It's nothing outside of you. It's nothing that another person does or has or where they went or whatever. That's a whole nother human being. The answer starts with you. Once you get out of debt, you will know this. You won't date slaves. Once you understand what I'm teaching you, then you'll go back to the channels that you used to watch on YouTube, and you'll be like, oh my God, they're not saying anything. No, they're not saying anything. That's a business. What you're seeing is a business. It's a legitimate business. They're not lying. They're not doing it. I'm not saying these relationship channels are doing anything wrong. That's business. Okay, that's business. I'm just saying they're saying nothing. The only thing they're doing is just giving you their point of view of the topic at hand. So whatever topic they have on title of their video, they're only giving you their view of it. That's it. There's nothing more than that. But you're a different person. It doesn't matter their view. What's your view on it? What is the ideal person to you without money involved? What is the ideal person to you? That's all that matters. It only matters to you. And to be honest, this is all you got to do. Once you get out of debt, you find peace within yourself. Once you find peace within yourself, you won't accept anybody in your life that is not at peace with themselves. Because if they're not at peace with themselves, they're not ready for you. Because if they're not at peace with themselves, their disruption is going to try to mess up with your peace. And I promise you this. I promise you this. Once you find your peace, you will let no one disrupt it. I promise you, you won't. You won't let anyone disrupt your peace. That includes the person that you love, that you're with. You've probably been with them 5, 10 years, whatever. You find your internal peace and you discover that they haven't found theirs. That's going to be a very big problem. Very big problem. You're gonna be like, "Whoa, hey, what?" Because they're gonna say things that won't make sense, try to twist your words and all this. When you find peace, it's different. You know you find the peace within yourself, and then you're happy with being alone. It's cool. Then and then you're like, okay, cool. I just want somebody that's just if you can reach there, that means another person can reach there. So you're gonna know the ones that haven't reached there. Can be like, oh, whoa, where's that coming from? I didn't say that, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to be arguing over stuff you didn't say. You're going to be like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. That's not me. Exactly. You're going to say it's not you because you're going to know it's not you. The thing I just made up, I thought about this. You won't react. You will observe. Because what you don't really, this is what happens when you're at peace, right? When somebody acts out, you won't react. You will observe. That's what I do. I observe now, right? The reason why I observe, because when somebody acts out that way, they're telling you how they really feel about you by their actions, right? You got to remember, whatever comes out of their mouth, whatever they actually physically do, they're doing it without knowing that they're doing it. But you got to say, wow, because if they're doing it, you're seeing them do it. Now you got to do is believe it. You see what I'm saying? If they did put it this way, if they didn't know, if they wasn't already thinking something, they wouldn't say it. Like, let me give you an example. I've never been in a disagreement with a partner and say, "Hey, I'm going to kill you." That's never came out of my mouth. Hey, I'm a beat you, or hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call the police and get you locked up. I just never said shit like that. I've never said that to a person. I'm so mad that I'm gonna call the police and make up fake charges and get you arrested. I've never done that. Excuse me. That's never crossed my brain. But if somebody does that to you, you got to think to yourself, wow, why would somebody do that? Because they're not thinking. They're not at peace with themselves because they don't understand the consequences of actions like that. Decent Wood says she was in a car note as well. I told her if she pays $1,000 a month that I would match her. Then I would match her. She didn't agree to it. See? Sorry. Even when you're offering to pay off something faster, they can't even, man, they don't even know. Now it says he's right about peace. I obsessed over getting peace, and when it arrived, I've guarded it closely ever since. Yeah, once you find it, this is what I was thinking recently, and this kind of ties in what I'm gonna do to the do the live for the members only tomorrow, right? Once you once you reach peace in your life, right? There's nothing I can't explain it. It's nothing like it, right? You're gonna automatically know. Like, for example, I've reached to such a peace in my life. I know that fucking around on my partner would disrupt that peace. Like if I went and slept with another woman behind the woman I'm with behind her back, that disrupts my peace, regardless if she found out or not. Say like she would never knew I did it in secret. I know. So now me knowing what I did wrong in a relationship is in my brain. So now it's disrupting my peace. So I would never allow that. I wouldn't even do that. That would disrupt my peace. So like say for example, say like this. Say like where I am at today. Say like, and this is just a made up story. Okay, I don't want you guys thinking it's true. Say like I found out my girlfriend was fucking somebody else. Of course, I would be hurt, but at the same time, she just showed me that I'm not for her because she slept with somebody else. Where I'm at, I couldn't sleep with another woman. I couldn't do that. No matter how, guys think, oh man, what if she was fine with a fat ass? No, that would disrupt my peace. My peace trumps all that. It trumps it all. That's the best way I can explain it to you. It trumps it all. So if I ever like same thing, if I ever got with a woman that tried to accuse me of messing around, knowing that I'm at peace with myself, I'd be like, okay, hey, I know you're saying it, but you got to show it to me because I already know it doesn't exist. But I'm gonna let them run through whatever they're looking for, and so when they're doing that, I'm just observing. And if you observe, you're like, damn, they're looking for something that doesn't exist. How do I know it doesn't exist? Because I didn't do it. I'm not going to be with a woman explaining to her, "Oh, girl, I'm only seeing you." Yeah, I would never do that. I'll be like, "I'm not explaining anything. I'm not doing anything." But if you keep accusing something that doesn't exist, we're not for each other. Goodbye. The reason why people do that because they're not at peace with themselves. Yellow J says total life reset out of the matrix with spiritual, physical, mental, and financial healings. It's all of that. All of that, Yellow J. You're right. That's why I tell you, fellas, man, what this SMD family does, it'll change your entire life. Your whole life will change. You'll be an alien. Mama Max says straight facts, LJ. That's why I'm not dating. I have peace working on paying off my house. Exactly. You have peace. Yeah, I mean, I know it's weird, man, but even 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 sex was just different. It just not as a guy. I'm telling you, it's different. That's the only way I can explain to you. It's more. It's different. You don't just. I just don't just do it because I want to do it. It's different, man. I can't explain that part. It's not a need. It's not like every woman that walks by, you go, "Oh shit, man, I sure want to hit this." You don't do stuff like that anymore. That I'm not saying that you become blind and you see a woman with a nice body, you don't look and say, "Damn, that looks nice," but you don't have this urge like, "Ooh, I really want to fuck that." It just no, that's not there. It's not like that because I don't know who she is. She might look good, but as soon as I talk to her, it might be totally something different. That's still another human being, regardless if it's a woman or not. She's still another person. So, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? It could be something crazy. Shout out to Donovan Wood for the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Peace of mind is totally priceless. You got to get to it first. You got to reach it first. That's the hard part. In order to reach total peace, you got to be by yourself for a while. You can't reach peace, but you can't reach peace with somebody. You have to do it by yourself. Good luck with that one. I take all those threats serious. I'm not taking any exactly, Brittany. You take all the threats because if they didn't, if they wasn't thinking they wouldn't say it. Just like I said earlier, I've never accidentally said, "Hey, woman, I'm gonna beat your ass." That's never coming out of my mouth because I won't do that. I won't beat a woman's ass. So I don't think about saying it. But when somebody says that to you, don't react. You observe. You're like, damn, that came out of their mouth. Yeah, they obviously are thinking it. Yeah, because because it came out of their mouth. It must start in their brain first before they say it. Regardless if they want to act, regardless if they're going to actually do it or not, that's not the point. The They're saying it. When you see outside the debt matrix, You can reinvent yourself like Neo and be anything you want. Anything you want. Anything. Anything you want. Believe that. I always tell people, hey man, I'm gonna be big as Dave Ramsey. They look at me like, you ain't gonna be whatever. You know, when you tell somebody, and when you go big, don't go small, you go big. Go big. Because the reason why slaves say that, because they know they themselves could never do it. Because why would you knock somebody down that has a dream to do it, or a desire to do it? Not even a dream, a desire to do it. You would say, oh man, you're gonna be big as Dave Ramsey. Yeah, man. Shit, I think you can too. But when they say, oh man, you ain't gonna do that, you know why they're saying that? They're talking about themselves. They're not gonna do it. Say what? Who slept with who? Right. I know exactly. It's the debt risk. Thank you. Thank you. A nice shout out for that. Appreciate it. Exactly. Sex isn't a need. It is not a need. And see, this is a woman. I'm saying it as a man. You know, when you're young, you're just made to believe that you get out there and conquer much sex as you can, and that's just the way it is. No, it's not. That's not true. If you're young and you're hearing that, you need to stop a moment and turn around and say, hey, who's saying that? Who's telling me that? Who's telling me? Where's that information coming from? And don't be ashamed, fellas. Don't be. This is what you got to do. Break. If your boys are worrying why you ain't hitting a whole bunch of ass, you say, because I don't want to. There is no other reason. I choose not to. Oh man, you a punk pussy, this and that. Hey, whatever. Those are just words. If somebody call you a pussy, dude, you got to ask yourself, are you really a pussy? No, then it doesn't mean anything. They're just saying a word that they believe that will bother you, I guess. I don't know. Who cares? Nope. Get in an environment of winners. You will naturally attract you. And I know you guys that are listening in the background. Listen, when you get out of debt, I promise you, you will attract other people like you. You know why? Because you will speak different. You will speak debt free. You will have the financial advantage. I promise you, you'll have the financial advantage. Tell them, Yellow J. Tell them, Yellow J's doing it, man. You guys don't even get it. Once you get out of debt, you have the financial advantage. You do. Nobody can see it. No, not say nobody. The majority can't see it. They have no idea why you're making the moves you're making. They have no clue. They don't know that you now speak debt free. They don't know they're speaking debt. They're going to be talking all kind of debt to you. Hey man, you should do this, invest in that, get triple your money here and this and that. The first thing you'll say, you got a mortgage? Yeah, okay. You got student loans? Yep. All right. What you want to tell me about generational wealth? You can't say to them, hey man, you got 20-year-old student loans. What are you talking about generational wealth? That doesn't even make any sense. What's up, Fred? What's going on? Nick says their words will loose string when you become self-validated. Their words will. You must be saying something else. Lose. Yellow J says, I just stopped telling anybody. Just gonna go. You get tired of telling people. You do get tired of talking to slaves because they won't accept that it's just mathematics. They will not accept it. They will always believe there's something outside of them that will get them to this mystery amount of money they're going to need to retire. Do you guys understand that that doesn't exist? Retirement accounts don't exist, slaves. That money that you see, that you think you're seeing, that's being taken out of your paycheck and put it into some mystery fund somewhere, it doesn't exist. Retirement is not an age. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's who you got to ask yourself, who says the retirement age is 78? Who said that? That's a lie. That's made up. Retirement's not an age. When you retire, does your debt retire? No? Then why do you think it's an age? When you retire, do you tell the bank, "Hey, bank, I just retired. Do they forgive your mortgage?" No. Then who cares? Hey, bank, yeah, what's up? Yeah, I know I've been paying on you for 20 years, but guess what? I just retired. They're going to say, congratulations. Why are you calling us? I don't get it. Now your mortgage, oh, you must be calling us to tell us that your mortgage payment is going to be coming out of your retirement now instead of your paycheck. Oh, okay. All right. Whatever. As long as we get it. If you have any questions, man, please feel free to jump up here and ask me a question if you want. You might be in a relationship. How do you want to know how to get out of it so you can get debt free? I can tell you that too. Change your life. Change your life forever. Life will never be the same. The earlier you learn this, if you get this information, especially in your 20s, ooh, wee, man, I'm jealous. You get this information when you in your 20s. I am jealous, man. Straight up. Because you'll know how to become a millionaire. You will. You'll know how to become a millionaire. It's not a trick. It's not a secret. It's not a special way. It's not if you invest in this, you'll be there. No, that's all business. Those are all businesses created to make money from you, believing that there's a different way to become rich. They're all making money from you. That's business. Everybody's getting fees. Everybody's everybody's getting fees for investing in that. You get anybody to handle your money. Blah blah blah. How many people do you think that are working their jobs, that are investing in retirement through their job, know how much in fees that are getting taken out of that money? They don't even know. It's a business. Yo, Jay says, with prepaid lease and no car payments, then my paycheck straight to debt. Yeah, I can feel the burden lifting each day. Slaves, you guys don't really get that there's this weight that you carry around every single day, believing that debt is part of life. When you become debt free, that weight is lifted. It's not there, it doesn't exist. You don't really understand how heavy that weight is. It's heavy. It's really heavy. You don't think it's heavy because you can't physically feel it. You can feel it inside. I'm talking about weights that you lift when you go to the gym. You can't physically, right? But inside, you know it's heavy. Once you lift that weight off your head, you're not going to date a person that has it on their head, because they're going to be slave splaining all day, complaining about their job, complaining about their boss at work, how they're treated. I can't believe they cut my pay, they cut my hours, they moved me here, they moved the third shift. They can do anything they want. You are their property. They own you. They own that person, right? They own them. You're not going to want to hear that every single day. Because at first you're going to be like, hey, you don't have to live like that. All you got to do is get out of debt, and then you have to work at a place you don't like. Only slaves work at places they don't like because they're doing it what? For the money. It sure is. It's about quality for sure. You better believe that. You guys don't understand. Before I met the woman I'm with, I chilled by myself for a year, no sex. No sex. Chill for a year, man. That was needed. Trust me. First month or two is kind of rough as a man, just with a regular sexual whatever, right? But after about month three, it kind of tapers off, and then four, five, six, then you cool. I was cool, man. I was like, damn, I'm good. I'm totally good. Come 8, 9 months, I was like, damn, this is cool. And then when it was time when I started dating, and when I started going back dating, sex wasn't my main driver. I mean, I go out with a sexy woman, she's dressed nice, and she looked good at dinner or whatever. But my main objective wasn't to fuck her. My main objective was just to go out and have a good time. Hey, hey, how do we vibe? Blah blah blah. They started wondering, hey, what's wrong with me? You haven't tried to blah blah blah. I'm like, hey, it's not even. If we do, we do it. We don't, we don't. They were shocked when I talk like that. What you mean? I said, if we have sex, great. If we don't, it's not a big deal. I still enjoy my time with you. Shocked, totally shocked. Oh my god, what? What? It's like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm in 4 months shy of my year debt free. I'm in I'm in 4 months shy. Of my year of debt free. Gotcha. All this you're saying is true. I'm living it now. You can sense the debt and stress in people. You can. And I want you guys to know what Lauren just said. They don't know, people in debt, slaves, they don't know that you can sense that. They don't know that. This is this is the financial advantage you will have in business, right? If you want to be check this out. If you want to be like a professional marketer, like you want to market, all you got to do is turn on the TV and mute the TV commercials so you can see how the big boys are doing it. You don't really have to hire anybody. I mean, to make it probably, but I'm just saying, if you want your design, what you want, how you want to sell, what kind of marketing, blah blah blah, you want to do. All you got to do is turn on the TV to regular channels and put it on mute when commercials come on, and watch how the big boys market the slaves. That's it. Just put it on mute. Slaves don't know that. I had one girl tell me when I said I like what Dave Ramsey talks about. She said at the end of our date, you listen at too many people and don't have any plans of your own. We never went out again. Okay. All right. Cool. Try five. Woo. I'm not. I can't say that. But women are different, though. Women are different. Men and women are not different when it comes to that area. So I think it's much easier for women. But all I'm saying is that for a man, it was just very different. Now I'm telling you, man, when I go to the gym, I'll see a woman with a nice body, but the desire to fuck that woman is not there like that. It's just not. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I wouldn't do it anyway. I'm with somebody. Jimmy, what's going on? Hi, all. I've had to learn to just shut my mouth. Folks are thinking I've joined a cult or something. I can understand why people think this way. Prophets are few in the world today, but madmen are many. That is funny. You gotta shut your mouth. Okay. This was my only outlet. Okay, this is how SMD got created, because I had nobody else to tell about my freedoms and what I was experiencing in life. I didn't have This was my outlet. You guys, I was talking to myself for a year before anybody started listening to me on this channel. A year by myself, talking to myself. King Hart says it's not impressive for a woman to do it. Oh, we're talking about, oh, okay. It's not impressive for a woman to do it. Oh, talking to Mama Max. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Yellow J says, you missed the post about I am starting Island Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I did, Yellow J? I read it, but I didn't click on it. I was reading it. Island Networking LLC. When I get there, and once it takes off, I will transition from my W-2 CCIE on the island, big fish in the small. Hey, now, are you still going to be using your CCIE, or is that one of those titles that you're going to have to let go? Which one? Or are you using it as party? Because you're still in network. I guess you're still going to be using. That doesn't make sense. You're still going. You know what it is, Yellow Jay. I just been out of computer so long. I don't want to ever touch it again. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know networking. I don't want to know about TCP/IP and protocol, blah blah blah, the Cisco iOS and all that stuff. I don't want to know none of that. Yellow J says also the San Francisco tech community have migrated there. It is about to be also the San Francisco have migrated. Oh, to Hawaii you're talking about, Yellow J? Mm. Enigma, in my city, I can't find a woman with a whole lot of kids or a whole lot of debt or both. In my city, I can't find a woman. Without, you mean? Without or with? I'm assuming you're saying without. And you know what? It really is. That's what makes it. That's what makes it a gift, because you're not going to accept women, or just, you're not going to. I don't want even want to make this a man or woman thing. You're not going to accept a partner with just stuff. Not saying I'm not don't accept a woman with children, because you could come across a woman that has a child or two, but she's completely debt free and in the same financial position as you, and you're like, okay, cool, she's debt free, all right, she got her, she got her stuff together. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying somebody with a whole bunch of baggage and debt and no plans of getting out, that's a problem. During the 5 years celibacy, got out of that except for house. Okay, you got out of during the 5 years. Okay, gotcha. Yellow J says, you were talking to me the whole time. I just needed a catch. I just needed to catch up. Weren't talking to yourself. Okay. Yeah, man. I absolutely love what I do. I love what I do. I'm changing lives, man. I mean, I'm changing lives forever. I keep telling you guys, once you cross over, there's no going back. It's not like I say, hey, Yellow J, stop what you're doing. Go back to the way things were before. He would look at me like I'm nuts. Are you insane? LJ, I'm not even listening to you no more. You're crazy. Once you know, that's it, man. That's a wrap. It's a wrap. Now I want you guys to see how slowly this dating minus debt series of videos is taking off slow. Some people listen, some are not. They don't really kind of get it. Nobody leaves comments. I want you to see how slow it takes traction. It's almost the same as savings minus debt. I want you guys to see it firsthand, because now that you're part of the SMD family, I want you to see, wow, yeah, he started number 2. Nobody's really participating. Nobody's really leaving comments on them. It takes them. This is how it happens. So this is to show you, when you finally find your passion, you get out there and start doing it. It's not going to happen as fast as slaves make it seem like things are going to happen. Oh man, you just do this and that, and your money will triple, and you'll get in business, and you do this, and your license for that, and it doesn't happen that fast. Okay, especially if you got something good. I know what I have. I know exactly what I have. Just not enough people know who I am yet. That's it. That's the only reason why SMD is not bigger than what it is. It's not even due to marketing or whatever. Yeah, a little bit of it. I'm not gonna say not at all. But what I'm saying is that regardless, if when people hear it, it takes them by shock. They don't really understand it. I don't say it's a.
Hey, what's going on, LJ?
What's up, Nick? What's going on, man?
I'm good, brother. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
First, I wanted to say, LJ, God bless you for actually doing this and actually, doing the savings minus debt, teaching everybody like finances, because most people just don't care. They'll just let you go spend, live your life, right? But you're actually, waking people up out the matrix and showing them that you don't have to impress people with fancy cars or anything like that, certain types of jewelry and whatnot, because that's what the TV and media will tell you. And then they'll have you going down the debt path, putting yourself deeper in the hole, and you won't even know. By the time you wake up, you're already farther on in life.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much, LJ, what happened with me, I'll be honest with you, I'm a slave. You know what I'm saying? I have.
How old are you again? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Listen, my background is I went to Penn State, did mechanical engineering over there, graduated. When I graduated, I struggled to get a job and whatnot, but eventually I did, right? So I started working in California in Costa Mesa. And long story short, I was doing well, right? I was living like a king. You know, I had leased a car, you know, Honda Civic SI. You know, I thought I was the man and whatnot, apartment and everything, right? So I come into work one day and they just told me, Nick, you got to pack up your stuff. You got to go. Now, keep in mind, another brother actually got fired from that same place, you know, like a week before I even got the job. This was 9 months me into the job, right? I was a tech support engineer. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
So I got fired, right?
Phone tech support?
Yeah. I was troubleshooting backup battery packs in California,
Gotcha.
right? So boom, they come in. They didn't give me no reason. I think California's one of them states that they don't got to give you a reason when I used to let you go. So you know, I was getting paid like $55,000, which is a lot of money for me. This was back in 2014. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I ended up losing everything. You know, my car, you know, my apartment, had to move back home to Jersey, right? And when I lost my car, like that was when it hit me. Like when I lost my job, like, you know, my 9 to 5, and I had to move backwards like that. That's when that kind of woke me up. They were like, okay, I need to put myself in a position where I can't be fired. That's when I was like, okay, what do I have to learn? What skills do I got to build to start my own business? You see what I'm saying? That's kind of,
that was your thought process?
Yeah, because I like when I lost my job, I was like, wait a minute. So I can build myself back up the corporate ladder, and the same thing can happen. So that kind of was starting to wake me up to like freedom and ownership, right? And anyway, when I got my car taken away, that was huge. I was like, I need to buy my car. I need to own my car, even if it is a hoopty or something that's not all fancy. At least it can't be taken away from me.
Right.
You see, that's what woke me up. And I'm like, well, that's because I didn't own that car, right? The things that you don't own can be taken away from you. So,
you know how many people don't think like that, especially at your age? You know how many people don't think? I mean, you probably didn't think it was a big special deal that you like, hey, wait a minute, I need to own my car. Just the way you're talking, a lot of people didn't know what you don't know to say that.
Exactly. And it's huge because like I said, they're looking at what everybody else is doing, and they're doing subtle things to fit in. People don't even understand that you could buy a car in cash, or like you were saying, like your house or your property in cash. They don't really understand that.
For you to wake up right now, because when you look at commercials, everybody's your age, right? People, when you see people your age on TV, you don't realize that the target audience is you. So for you to wake up like right now in the midst of all this is huge, man. It's huge, Nick. It's huge. Really big, man.
Yeah. Thank you, LJ. I'm gonna hop back down in the chat, but salute everybody listening. And it's just amazing what you're doing, LJ. Keep it up, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you, man.
All right.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it for jumping on, man. That's cool. That was cool. I love getting you know what? Here's Nick, 30 years old, man. If there was somebody like me, and I'm sure there was, you just got to be in the right mindset, because I'm gonna tell you right now, what Nick just described, I was thinking nothing like that at 30. Nothing. I was fully immersed in the debt matrix, fully immersed. 2 car payments, rent or mortgage or whatever I was, you know, I thought that was normal to have 2 car payments and a mortgage. I really thought that. I was nowhere near what Nick was thinking, man. That's why when I was listening to him, I was like, damn. He was like, he lost his job. He's like, hey, wait a minute. And they can't take away stuff that I own. Nope, sure can't. All right, you guys, we got to wrap this up, man. Thank you, everybody, for participating today. Appreciate you all. Okay, I appreciate you all. Yeah, just like LJ, you'll be a millionaire. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Tomorrow, I will see you guys in the members only. All right, and I will make sure I let you guys know the time at least 2 hours ahead of time. Okay, I promise. All right, until next time, talk to you later.